I finally got my grandma Kentucky Fried Chicken after 10 years. I, 23M, was visiting my 81F grandma in Mexico when I was 13 years old with my family. We spent the week with her there at the time, and she asked me, "When you grow up, can you get me Kentucky Fried Chicken?" I said, "A decade-long promise, Captain." A grandmother's KFC wish fulfilled 10 years ago. I, a 13-year-old boy, visited my 81-year-old grandmother in Mexico with my family. During that visit, she asked me, "When you grow older, can you bring me some Kentucky Fried Chicken?" I enthusiastically agreed, making a promise to her. Fast forward to the present, when my grandmother came to visit us, I was determined to honor my childhood vow. I managed to purchase the coveted KFC for her, bringing a smile to her face as she savored the taste she had long been craving. It was a heartwarming moment, and I was grateful to have kept my promise to my loved one. Edit. I'd love to hear more about your grandmother's visit and how it went. Did you learn any new traditions or memories during her stay? Update. This story can be used as a great example of keeping promises, even if it takes a long time. It shows the importance of following through on commitments and making our loved ones happy. TLDR. A young man, now 23, fulfills a 10-year-old promise to his 81-year-old grandmother by bringing her Kentucky Fried Chicken, bringing joy and satisfaction to both. My BF is mad that I won't do anal. I, 30F, and my BF, 28M, live together and have sex about once or twice a week. Last night while he was on top of me, he flipped me over and tried to do anal even though I told him that I wouldn't ever try it. I freaked out and he was mad. Say, my partner and I are at odds over intimacy preferences. My partner, 28M, and I, 30F, cohabitate and engage in sex about once or twice a week. Last night, while we were intimate, he attempted to engage in anal sex despite my previous and ongoing reluctance to explore this activity. I reacted anxiously, and he became upset, suggesting that anal sex is comparable to oral sex. Following an argument, I chose to sleep on the couch, feeling uneasy about sharing a bed with him when he was visibly agitated. What steps should I consider taking in this situation? My mom referred to me as a teenager today when talking to her friend. She referred to me as her teenage daughter. I'm 21, live on my own with my significant other, pay all my own bills, have a well-paying job, currently saving for a down payment on a house, and know how to. Today, my mom called me by my teenage years title. In conversation with her friend, she slipped into referring to me as her teenager. Although I've grown into adulthood at 21, living with my partner and taking responsibility for our financial stability, I've proven myself capable of paying all my bills and securing a respectable income. We're even saving for a home. Moreover, I've honed skills that even my mom may not possess, such as meal preparation and planning. Some individuals' views about you can remain remarkably consistent. Quiz cheater denied. A girl in my microbiology class kept cheating off of my quizzes, but even when I changed my seat she would sit near me. So for yesterday's quiz I decided to answer all the questions wrong on the Scranton, but when she was done and stopped paying attention I pooed. The unwelcome cheater in my microbiology class. A classmate was repeatedly cheating off my quiz answers, but no matter how often I changed my seat, she would find a way to sit near me. In an attempt to catch her in the act, I devised a plan for yesterday's quiz. I filled out a blank scantron with deliberately incorrect answers. When she finished and seemed to relax, I swiftly switched to a clean scantron, inserting my genuine answers. Unfortunately, she failed to notice the switch until it was too late, and we were required to submit our quizzes. Her reaction upon discovering the deception was absolutely priceless. Not all babies are beautiful. I'm tired of having to compliment other people's children just because they think their kid is the most beautiful. No, stop that. Not all babies are beautiful when they are born. I think all babies are pretty and cute just because they're so small. The unspoken truth about newborns: it's time to break free from societal expectations surrounding newborns. I'm exhausted from the need to constantly compliment other people's children, simply because they believe their baby is the most stunning. No, let's stop that. Not every baby is a vision of beauty from the moment they're born. While I think all newborns are undeniably charming and cute because of their tiny size, that's not the same as being beautiful. Some infants can appear quite peculiar, like a miniature version of a beloved character from a fantasy novel, and that's perfectly okay. Edit. The original post was inspired by the common societal pressure to constantly compliment other people's children, especially when they're born. This societal expectation can be overwhelming and unfair, especially for those who may not have a conventionally beautiful baby. Update: the conversation around beauty standards for newborns is still ongoing. It's essential to remember that every child is unique and special in their own way, regardless of their physical appearance. By shifting our focus away from physical beauty and towards the inherent charm and cuteness of newborns, we can create a more supportive and accepting environment for all parents. TLDR: let's move away from the expectation that the fact that my husband is deployed is not an invitation to flirt with me. I'm not going to fuck you because I'm a young, lonely wife whose husband is several seas away. I love and miss him too goddamn much for that. If that means cutting off friendships with certain people in my husband's deployment is not a reason for you to make advances towards me. I won't be engaging in any intimate relationships with you simply because I'm a lonely wife who's been separated from my husband by vast distances. My love and longing for him far outweigh any temporary distraction you might be offering. If that means reevaluating the friendships in my life and distancing myself from those who disregard my boundaries, then I'm willing to do so. My self-respect and the loyalty I have for my husband are non-negotiable. I won't hesitate to assert myself in this matter. TLDR: you're not getting romantic or physical with me just because my husband is deployed. I regret having my daughter. She's turning 3 months, and as I, 33F, stared at her, I realized I created her only for her to one day die. I went numb and sad and just wanted to apologize to her for bringing her into this scary, uncertain world when she didn't ask to be born. A crushing reality as I stood over my 3-month-old daughter, the weight of her existence crushed me. The realization hit me that I had brought her into this world, a world filled with suffering and uncertainty. A sense of numbness washed over me, followed by an overwhelming sadness. I felt the need to apologize to her for the life I had given her, a life that would one day come to an end. In that moment, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had been selfish, bringing a new life into the world without considering the inevitable fate that awaited it. My desire for her had clouded my judgment, and now I couldn't help but wonder if she would ever forgive me for bringing her into this fragile existence. Edit: I have rewritten the story in a different wording while keeping the same meaning. Update: this piece is a deeply personal and emotional account from a mother who is struggling with the reality of her daughter's mortality and the consequences of bringing her into the world. TLDR: a mother struggles with the weight of her daughter's mortality and the guilt of bringing her into the world, feeling selfish and uncertain about her daughter's future. Pregnant fiancé is being denied time off to go to doctor. My pregnant fiancé is being denied time off to go to an OB/GYN in Florida. Is this legal? We're okay if she doesn't get paid, given she is not a salaried worker. But she is being told she cannot take time off to go to the doc.